Protection of SCRs. In that previous class, we observed di by dt protection and dv by dt protection. And there is a another circuit to protect the dv by dt. We required as a snubber circuit. We will see today design of snubber circuit and over voltage protection, over current protection, and gate protection. So these are the some of the protection schemes are there. And after that we'll go for as a series and parallel operation of a SCR. So we left out only the two topics, SCR triggering and commutation methods. So these two are important only. We'll see after this class. And design of a snubber circuit. So first thing is why we required as a snubber circuit. So snubber circuit used to protect the dv by dt triggering. That dv by dt is a unwanted triggering because whenever supply is given to the device, automatically sudden voltage applied across the device, that voltage rating is higher than the specified value, then automatically the device is going to be triggered. That is an unwanted triggering. So unfortunately it is going to be happen. To overcome that, what we are using as a some protection to overcome the dv by dt triggering. So that protection we make use of a series combination of resistor and capacitor. Now we'll see that all the design part, what are the elements are required and how to design parameters, then how to protect the dv by dt triggering. So snubber circuit is consisting of a series combination of resistor and capacitance in parallel with the SCR. So there is a device. For that device, SCR let it be in parallel. So device in parallel, combination of resistor and capacitor. So that combination is in the series. You have to connect in parallel with the device. So now like this, suppose there is a capacitor and then resistor, and this setup you connect in parallel with the SCR. So there is a SCR will be like this. If we connect to protect the dv by dt triggering, this we call it as a snubber circuit. This portion we call it as a snubber, nothing different. Just we are connecting resistor and capacitor, both are in series. That set is connected in parallel with the device, that we call it as a snubber circuit. So now how it will operate, we'll see that. Strictly speaking, only capacitor is sufficient. So that's what in earlier also I mentioned. Only one capacitor is sufficient to control the dv by dt triggering. Then when switch is closed, suddenly voltage appear across the circuit. Now what will happen? If sudden voltage appear across the capacitor, so that capacitor will act as a short circuit. Therefore voltage across SCR is 0. The exactly same I shown in the previous diagram. In that diagram, once supply is given, suppose there is a switch here and then there is a device. This is a SCR device, and now if we connect one capacitor here, something like this. If supply is given directly, means switch is closed here, then this will act as a short circuit. Once this is short circuit, that voltage short circuit voltage is 0 or very less, that is applied across the device. So therefore we are not getting any voltage beyond the dv by dt. So it is very less voltage, or you can say that 0 voltage. Later on what will happen? Once times happen, then the capacitor is gradually charging. Initially it will become as a short circuit, and later on capacitor is gradually charging. Once capacitor is charging, that same voltage will be applied across the device. Therefore what is intention is here, to minimize the dv by dt value. If you are not placing any capacitor, if switch is closed, total voltage, whatever voltage you are applying here, the total voltage is connected to the SCR. So that chance of getting the rate of rise of voltage, that is the dV by dt value, it may be beyond the specified value. So what is the specified value? The nameplates they may give what is the value. Yesterday I shown no, up to 500 volts per microseconds of time. So up to that voltage it is withstand. If you apply beyond that voltage, automatically chance of conduction, but that is not our requirement. Actually that is the problem. To overcome that one, I am connecting as a series combination of resistor and capacitor in parallel with that, but only capacitor is sufficient. But why we connect as a resistor, that is another question. We'll see that. Then same explanation, once time passes, then capacitor build up the voltage slowly, and that voltage is across the SCR. So that value is automatically less than the dV by dt value. And hence same thing, the question arises, if C is sufficient, then why we required as a RS also. So I told no, snubber circuit is nothing but a combination of resistance and capacitance in parallel with the thyristor. But according to this logic, only capacitance is sufficient, then why resistor is required? So that we'll see the circuit operation point. This is the actual circuit. There is a supply here and connected to a switch, and then there is a thyristor, some load. I used as some resistor load. So what is this L? According to the yesterday's explanation, I told one point there, inductor is connected in series with the thyristor. So why we required that? Anybody? Can you recall yesterday's class? If anybody
di by dt protection.
Hello? My screen is visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
My screen is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So, you can see here there is an inductor also connected. So, when inductor is connected, so that means that it will prevent the di by dt. Why the di by dt is required? Anybody? Di by dt is required based on yesterday's class. We can see that di by dt is whenever current is increases, automatically the device is going to be triggered. To limit that, we are using as a di by dt inductor. So L is here is a di by dt inductor that we observed in yesterday's class itself. Now that is for protection of inductor, and this dotted line is protection of suppose S is closed. Can you tell voltage equation of that or KVL? Anything, whatever notation you want to follow. What is the KVL equation when S is 0? At the moment S is 0, not later on. The moment at S is 0, what is the voltage equation? You just recall this diagram. If switch is closed, what is the thyristor condition, whether it is on state or off state? When thyristor will on, thyristor will turn on only whenever if you pass the gate signal and forward bias condition. But when switch is closed, thyristor is forward bias but not turn on. It is simply open. Why it is open? We are not providing any firing pulse to the device. With that reason, thyristor is open circuit only. And another thing we observed, what is the capacitor? When switch is closed, the moment the capacitor will act as a short circuit. only capacitor. So capacitor act as a short circuit and thyristor is not triggered. Then what is the equivalent circuit? You can see this. There is a resistor, then inductor, then load resistor, then it goes to supply. This is only the equivalent circuit when switch is closed. This is a plus, this is a minus, supply is Vs. Something current is passing through this. What is the current? That current is Is current. And there is a resistor is Rs. Inductor, load resistor is RL. Then now you tell me what is the voltage equation? Current will pass like this, na? Current is I. What is the voltage equation now? Vs is equal to, resistors are in series, Rs plus RL into Is plus L di by dt. Is it clear? Very simple. I am asking, the moment when switch is closed, capacitor will act as a short circuit and thyristor is an open circuit. Therefore, no meaning of thyristor there. It is already open. So, current will pass source Rs, L, RL to the Vs minus. That is the path. This what I mentioned line. Rs goes to L, then it goes to the RL and come back to the Vs minus. Start with Vs plus. Then I can write voltage equation will be like this. Is it clear? Exactly same. Vs supply, Rs into I, current I or Is, whatever notation you follow, RL into I plus L into di by dt, because both is series, that's why Rs plus RL into I plus L into di by dt. This is the voltage equation. From this, I want what is the I. How will you get I? As per your network theory, you know that RL circuit excited by the DC supply. Then what is the current I? I expression. V is equal to IR plus LDI by dt notation. What is the I now? Current I is equal to V by R into 1 minus e power minus R by L into T. How will you get that expression? Simply apply Laplace transform and take partial fractions. Then apply inverse Laplace transform. We'll get it as a I. So that and all you know, no need to do all this process. Directly RL circuit excited by the DC supply. Therefore current I is equal to V by R into 1 minus e power minus R by L into T. Or V by R I can write it as a I, capital I. Here R is nothing but Rs plus RL. E power minus R by L into T. So R divided T by tau. Tau is equal to L by R. Anything. So just I will show that also. See that from this current I is equal to, here capital I is nothing but a Vs by Rs plus RL into 1 minus e power minus R by L into T, R minus T by tau. So this is the expression. In just for simplicity, I given I is equal to this one and tau I mentioned there. Just now we got it as I. This is the expression for current. Now I need to find what is the maximum di by dt and what is the dv by dt. That also you have to find. So for that you can see this, just I expression is known to you now. Then you know what is the I value, what is the tau value, because in the previous expression I shown I is equal to Vs by Rs plus RL, tau is equal to L by Rs plus RL. Just to differentiate it, because this is a U notation, this is a V, apply UV rule for the differentiation. Di by dt is equal to U into V derivative plus V into U derivative. So then I into inside derivative as 1 is 0, that means minus e power minus t by tau, then tau is equal to 1 minus 1 by tau, minus minus get plus. So therefore you will get it as a this expression, plus other version V into U derivative. U is a constant, so derivative of constant is 0. Therefore you will get only di by dt is equal to, what I can write, I into e power minus t by tau into 1 by tau. Then I substitute what is I, what is tau. So I is Vs by Rs plus Rl and into e power minus t by tau and into 1 by tau. So that if I represent, this is a 1 by tau, tau is equal to L by R, then 1 by tau is equal to R by L into e power minus t by. So this will get cancelled. Then what is there? Di by dt is equal to Vs is one term here and by L into e power minus t by tau. So that is the value of di by dt. But what is the maximum? Any value when it will get maximum at t is equal to 0. Di by dt max will obtain at t is equal to 0. So therefore you just substitute t is equal to 0, e power 0 is 1. Therefore di by dt max is equal to Vs by L. So this is one relation we got it. From this, what is the L value? Why L value? Why we need to design L? To limit di by dt. If I place L such a way that current should not increase beyond the di by dt maximum. That is the reason we design L value. From this L is equal to. So then Vs supply is known, di by dt maximum they will give the nameplate details. So to limit that di by dt maximum means it should not increase beyond the specified value when it is going to be operated. So for that reason I designed as a L value. So if I place this L value in series with the thyristor, therefore that di by dt max will never exceed in the circuit. Means whatever current we are passing through the SCR initially, that should not exceed beyond the di by dt maximum. So this is the design of a L. In problem also they may ask, I will show problem also today. Just they may ask snubber circuit parameters. They may give the data and design snubber circuit parameters. What are the snubber circuit parameters here? CS value, RS value and L value. CS, RS are snubber and L is a series connected to the SCR, that is nothing but a di by dt limit. So these total parameters you can easily find out by using this formula. So one formula is L Vs by di by dt. Another one is I want dv by dt also. How will you get? If thyristor is open, let it be, what is the voltage across the device? Same as the source. That means, but here the thyristor across there is a resistor is there. So therefore whatever drop across the resistor is nothing but a voltage across the SCR. You can see the circuit here. See that this is open circuit. I want to know what is the voltage across here, Vt. How will you get? Whatever voltage across here, that is nothing but voltage across the device. So here means initially capacitor is short, then current is passing through the resistor, I into R, that is voltage drop, that is equal to the voltage across the SCR. Same thing I mentioned here. You can see VA voltage across the thyristor or anode voltage, that is equal to Rs into I. But already you know what is the I. I is equal to capital I into 1 minus e power minus t by R. Just you substitute that and apply differentiation. So dV by dt, that is equal to Rs. I is nothing but a di by dt. And again you substitute maximum value at dV by dt max is equal to Rs into di by dt max. Then what is the di by dt max? That is nothing but a Vs by L. Just substitute here, then what I can get? Rs and into this value, Vs by L. So Vs by L. So this is nothing but a dV by dt maximum. So that's what I mentioned here. You can see that dV by dt max is equal to Rs into di by dt max. Di by dt is nothing but a Vs by L. You substitute here, we'll get it as a, what is the value of dV by dt maximum. Now already you know what is the L value also. So now other version of formula Rs. So now I know L value, I know Vs value, then I know Va by dV by dt value, because di by dt, dV by dt they may give in the nameplate or specification sheet. So now you can easily get what is the Rs value. This is the by using the derivation part. But there is a empirical relation, something by use trial and error method, by changing the L value, by changing the C value and then R value and so on, they conclude that for minimizing the damping, all these things. So what they will do is RS can be obtained. There is empirical relation. There is no proof for that. From this expression, they did something trial and error, means by changing something different values of L and C, and then they concluded that RS is equal to 2 del root of L by CS. This is the empirical relation they find. Then eta is or a del, whatever you notate, and damping factor, that range is 0 to 0.5 to 1, preferably 0.65 they approached is a accurate design, but still you can take the value of delta is 0.5 to 1. So but now by make use of this empirical relation, so far you know L value, you know RS value, because in the previous design, from this you know what is the L. Now means another formula here. L is nothing but what we derived is Vs by di by dt max. I know L value, and now there is empirical relation, we got it, RS is equal to this one. From this, what is the CS? That's all your design part completed. So apply both sides square, then RS square is equal to 2 del whole square into L by CS. Therefore, CS is equal to. So now you will get it CS expression from this. Now I know L value, I know CS value, I know RS value. So these are the, but here is a, this value is 0.5 is the, they mention as a accurate design, but you can able to take that eta value or del value 0.5 to 1. This is the range of that. Now just mention the problem. I can, from here if you want, you can write CS is equal to, because this is required CS. So just square it both sides, then 2 del by RS whole square into L. That's all. So this is will go that side, and 2 del by RS and square. This will be square into L. This is the value of CS. So now I know all the values and we'll do the problem. So you can see the design part is very clear. There is a circuit, supply and thyristor and load in parallel with that of a R and C and series inductor. When switch is closed, then capacitor will act as a short circuit. Therefore, equivalent circuit is supply RL. That's all. Means R consisting of a RS plus RL, load resistor as well as the series resistor. Now, from that RL circuit excited by the DC supply, therefore, we can design that KVL equation. Vs is equal to Rs plus RL into I plus L di by dt. From that, current I is equal to V by R into 1 minus e power minus R by L into T, R minus T by tau, and take differentiation, both sides will get di by dt, and di by dt max will get at t is equal to 0. So then voltage across the SCR, VA is equal to R into I. Then R means RS here. So now dV by dt is equal to RS into di by dt. You know already di by dt value, and you make it as a maximum. dV by dt max is equal to RS into di by dt max. I know di by dt max, and substitute, we'll get it as a RS is equal to. That is the design RS, but they did some trial and error. Finally, they got one relation, RS is equal to 2 eta into root of L by C. So with that formula, C means CS. So now you will find what is the CS. That is the complete design of a snubber circuit. So why snubber is required? To prevent the dV by dt. Now the problem is, you can see that thyristor control power load is RL, and supply voltage is given 240 volts, and specified limits of dV by dt and di by dt, both values are given. Means di by dt max is 50 ampere per microsecond, and dV by dt is 300 volts per microseconds of time. That is the values is given. Now they ask, determine the value of di by dt inductor. Di by dt inductor means what? L. And then snubber circuit parameters are RS and CS. These are the three parameters we have to find. L, then RS, then CS. So you just use your derivation as such, you will get it as a direct substitution only. Like that, you have many problems are there. If you want, you just changing some other parameters they may give, and they may ask what is the dA by dt and what is the dV by dt. That way also they may ask, and just go through some more problems also. Now see that I want L first. L, we know formula for di by dt max is equal to Vs by L. From that, L is equal to Vs by di by dt. Vs is 240 and di by dt is 50 amps per microsecond. So just substitute that. See that Vs is 240 and 50 microamps. Therefore, by 10 power minus 6, it will come as a numerator, or you can place there itself. So you will get it as a L is equal to 4.8 microhenry. Exact direct formula di by dt max is Vs by L. And other parameters are what? You need to know what is the RS and then CS. So first, if you find the RS, use the empirical relation, we'll get it as a CS. What is the formula for RS? According to our derivation part, RS is equal to L by Vs into dV by dt max. And L is known just now, 4.8 microhenry by 240, and dV by dt max, it is given 300 volts per microsecond. Simply substitute it. You can see that I am substituting L value, then V value. Here dV by dt is 300. This 10 power minus 6 and this 10 power minus 6 will get cancelled out. So we'll get it as a 6 ohms resistor. You have to connect in series with the capacitor. And now, what is the capacitor formula? Just now I shown empirical relation. CS is equal to 2 del root of L by CS. RS formula is this empirical relation. From this, CS is equal to, you can write it. So del is 0.5 to 1. Any range you can take it. Preferably, they mention 0.65 or something. If the problem is given exactly del value, use it. Otherwise, by your own choice, from 0.5 to 1, any value you can able to take. And now from this, CS is equal to 2 del by RS whole square into L. So just substitute del value taken 0.65, because up to 1 any value you can take it. RS already calculated 6 ohms and L is already calculated 4.8 into 10 power minus 6, because 4.8 microhenry, and you will get it as a capacitance. This is the complete design. A very important question. Sometimes they may ask direct problem, and sometimes they may ask designs number circuit and followed by the problem. Anything. So whatever formulas are there, only 3 formulas. So L, R and CS. So use that, you can do the problems. And now the rest of the protection we can observe over voltage protection, over current protection and gate protection. So this is the over voltage protection is very severe protection actually. It is the most important protection scheme comparatively other, because it is very sensitive. That is also another problem in power electronics devices. The over voltage or current or voltage, anything, that range is very less. It cannot take burden. So whatever design is there, it will follow only up to that design level. If suppose machine we have some plus or minus 10%, even if you apply the load, it can withstand, but it is a very sensitive parameter here in case of a over voltage. So the maximum times due to this voltage only, the failure is going to be takes place. Subjected to the internal and external over voltage, this over voltage will occur due to 2 reasons. One is internally it may happen, another one is external case also, and means external due to external reason it may get, and due to internal reason. So that we will see that. In case of internal, after commutation of a thyristor, what will happen? Commutation means turn off the thyristor. We observed yesterday dynamic characteristics of SCR. So after commutation of a thyristor, reverse recovery current decays abruptly with high di by dt. So now we observe the current waveform yesterday, dynamic characteristic during off process. It reaches 0 and then it continue to make it as a negative. That is a high di by dt value in the reverse side. Why it will happen like that? Because v is equal to L di by dt, and now if di by dt is high, automatically voltage also going to be high. If that voltage is high, that exceeds the breakover voltage of the device. In that case, device is going to be conduct. So that is also problem, and reverse braking also takes place. That's what we are happening in the reverse voltage. That's why it may get as a reverse braking. It is unwanted braking. So that's why this is the one of the problem. Internal problem will arise if di by dt value is high, means reverse recovery time T2 I told, no, at T2 current we call it as a reverse recovery current, and now that leads as a breakdown of the junction J2. So that may happen as a damage of the device also. That is the one problem in internal. The external case, you can see that causes due to the various reasons. In the it may be lightning or surge conditions, so abnormal voltage spikes. So these surge condition, in the sense the voltage is very high with lesser time duration due to lightning effect, all these things, that is externally may happen. So these are the two problems will be arise in the over voltage protection. So external over voltage may be cause different types problem like increasing the leakage currents, or permanently breakdown of the junction J2, or unwanted turn of the device. So anything that is leads automatically, whatever happened in the previously, that leads these things. So now must suppress this, whether it is external or internal, it is unwantedly happening. You have to protect that device from this over voltage protection. For this, protective measures has to be taken. So what are the protective measures? So this minimized by using as a non-linear resistors, or also in general term metal oxide varistors, MOV. So metal oxide varistors used to prevent this over voltages. So now how this metal oxide varistors will act under normal condition? This will act as a high impedance. So high impedance is nothing but open circuit. So won't affect anything if voltage is normal voltage or specified voltage or within the level of specification. But now once if it increases beyond the voltage level, automatically it will act as a low impedance path to protect the SCR. So this is the reason we are using as a varistors. That means metal oxide varistors are used to prevent over voltage protection. So this is the one process under over voltage condition. Now we'll come to the over current protection. Why over current? If you apply load is high, automatically it leads as over current only, because thyristor is connected to the load, or any thyristor, there is a controller and connected to the load only. The conversion, whatever conversion you are doing, whether it is a AC to DC or a DC to AC or whatever means of conversion, finally our intention is not to only the conversion. Our intention is to use some application. After conversion, you have to use some application. That application connected to load. It may be anything. Load may be in DC motor or AC motors or traction application, induction heating, or whatever may be the load. But the thing is, appropriate controller is used to meet your load requirement. For that case, if you apply overloaded, automatically current also going to be high. That's what how to prevent that also we'll observe that. Overcurrent is occur in the different types of faults due to the what will happen. Overcurrent leads I square R losses. If I square R losses means in terms of a temperature only, high generation of heat. So temperature rises. What is the problem? You recall, I think maybe in initial I told turn on methods of SCR. One is a temperature triggering. So in that temperature triggering, we can observe what we called as when junction J2 current rises, means because of the leakage current, leakage current increases, then temperature will rise. If temperature rises, junction resistance will drop down. Junction resistance drop down, automatically again it draws more current, that is nothing but the leakage current. Again leakage current more means temperature will rise. Again resistor will drop down, like that. With regenerative action, the temperature will rises cumulatively at junction J2. Therefore junction J2 is going to be breaks down. So that is a conduction is taking place. Or some cases if it is further beyond, there is a chance of device also going to be damaged, because it is under not only leakage condition, it is under operating condition also. If it is a leakage condition, means device is in the off state, there is a chance of conducting the device. But device is already conducted, then what will happen? If device is already conducted, if you are applying more and more load, then temperature will rise in the form of heavy loss or very high temperature. That leads device may damage. So how to protect that? So for that, SCR can be protected from overcurrent by using as a circuit breaker is one aspect, because you limit that current in the circuit breaker. Once that current is reaches beyond that, automatically it will trip that. That is one way. And another way is there is a fast acting current limiting fuses. By make use of this also, you can able to trip that. But the problem is in case of circuit breaker, quenching that arc will take more time, so that will lead some problem. That's why they may be use this type of protection also will be used, fast acting current limiting fuses. That's what I mentioned the same here. Circuit breakers are used to protect the thyristor against continuous overloads on the surge currents, because surge currents may get higher magnitudes, and in circuit breaker will take long time to trip. But if you use fast acting fuses, we can protect as a against high surge currents. So this may also use for normal cases. Circuit breakers also use, depends on rating. If it is high rating, you have to go for as a circuit breakers only rather than the fuse. Fuse is not that much reliable. So these are the some of the problems in case of over voltage as well as the over currents. Similar fashion, high temperature protection. It is very quite often once overcurrent leads as high temperature in turn, then how to protect that temperature. Once temperature rises, I shown previously, no, once temperature rises means I square R losses increases, temperature will rise. If temperature rise, if you not prevent that rising the temperature, automatically device will damage. That's why what you will do, you can make use of, I told there itself in turn on methods. How will you prevent the thermal triggering or a temperature triggering? By make use of heat sinks. You remember that this is quite interview questions. How will you prevent the temperature triggering? How will you suppress the dV by dt triggering? So what is the precaution for di by dt? So all these things are must remember. And temperature case, again same logic will be the same, but only thing is how to prevent that. So by make use of a heat sinks. So there is a different types of heat sinks will be there. So heat sinks will be made up of aluminum and copper. But when you compare with aluminum and copper, so which is cheaper? Preferably our intention is to reduce the cost aspect in terms of in general opinion. Therefore, we'll use as aluminum for because of the cheaper cost. But if you go for very high application, you mustn't use only copper only. That's what I mentioned here. Mainly aluminum are used to the low cost. Therefore, several types of mounting types of heat sinks are there. That is stud mounting and then lead mounting and bolt down mounting. There is a different of based on your device situation and where you are using the circuit. All these things they may be used appropriate, but the intention is simple. Use the heat sink to suppress your temperature raised by the device. That's all. Once device is that's what same thing happen in our lab also. What protection we are using for temperature rise in lab? Anybody can answer me? We are doing as a load test of a DC motor or load test of a induction motor. What you are doing there when you are doing load test? What protection you are taking for higher currents? Anybody? You did, I
Rheostat,
think.
sir. Using rheostat.
No, rheostat is
Using
to
a
control
rheostat.
the
DPST.
voltage. No, DPST is
Sir,
tripping.
fuse.
No,
Starter, sir.
Fuse.
here I am asking as a temperature. Remember that whatever you are telling,
Water.
that is a yes, that's correct. So what you
Coolant.
are doing? Yeah, water only. You are using water, no? So when you are applying load, you may be recall whether you are pouring water or not, but you must pour. So otherwise, if you operate high load condition, you can see that belt will heat it up, means drum. That connected to the belt also will get some smell, something melted smell. So that's why what you are doing, you are cooling. Why the temperature is rising? Anybody when you are applying load, in your calculation you observe in the load test calculation what is happening when you are applying load, losses will increase. Initial no load condition you don't get any losses, very minute, because only no load current is there, that current also very small. So but we are applying load continuously, means half load, quarter load, full load, something. If you are applying rated load, I mean 20 amperes or 15 ampere machine based on your machine, then what will happen? So once if it reaches to the load, in turn there is a loss, I square or loss will increase because current increases, so losses will increase. What is the loss? In terms of heat dissipation only. So therefore temperature will rise. So to limit that, we are using as a water there. You are cooling that. All these things will happen in case of transformers also, but not water there. So there is air blast cooling and oil cooling. Both, if it is high rating of MVA rating of transformers, they may be use air blast and oil cool. So many cooling mechanism they will do. So all the cases, the reason is because of the loss, that is in terms of heat will be there. You have to control that within the specified limit. Same after all device also, in electronic device also, mobiles also sometimes will get heated up. So there is a protection inside, the heat sinks will be there. But if you are based on your problem or something, it may get sometimes beyond the specified value, that leads the problem. That's why you must and should provide as a control mechanism or protective measures you have to use it. Here preferably is the all devices we are using as a heat sinks. So this is the thing we can use as a temperature set. Similarly, gate protection also, because in a gate, also why the gate protection? Gate also we are connecting to the voltage, no? Gate and cathode we are connecting voltage source, that in turn will pass through as a current. So how much current it has? If in terms of current, if I say I need to pass at least Ig minimum to trigger the SCR, and maximum is Ig maximum, only up to that in terms of current. If I say in terms of voltage, then I can say it is a VGT. VGT is nothing but a gate triggering voltage. So that is the voltage we need to apply. So V, G and T. So if you apply gate and cathode, T is a triggering gate. So gate triggering voltage, if we apply, then automatically device is going to be triggered. There also you are applying voltage and current. So both protections are required. So like thyristor, we should protect the gate also, whether it is a over voltages or a over currents. That's why I mentioned one sentence there. Gate circuit can cause false triggering also. So once if you unwantedly, knowingly, unknowingly, if you apply that current beyond Ig minimum, automatically it will trigger. But our intention is whenever you require to trigger the device, at that instant only I have to pass the minimum gate current at least. Or if you want, you can increase beyond that also, depends on your breakover voltage want to minimize, you can pass more current to trigger it. But you should be aware that operation of that device, it will be within the lower limit of that voltages or voltage. If you come to the voltage VGT, if you apply up to the VGT, automatically it will trigger it. Or current, if it reaches Ig minimum, also it will trigger. So therefore you have to take care of that voltage and currents. So how to protect it? So over voltage of a thyristor protection is achieved using a Zener diode, and the resistor can be used to protect the gate circuit from the over currents. So these are the, because it will prevent that current, that is the reason we are using. So this is about all protection. Sometimes noise also will be there. You can make use of that, can avoid by using as a resistor and capacitor in parallel to suppress that noise. Okay, noise is not that much level, but the protection of voltage and current you have to provide it. So these are the important aspect in case of a protection. Whatever I shown normally in the agenda titles means topics, each topic is related to one question. Maybe sub question, essay questions, whether it is a characteristics of SCR, means static characteristics, or maybe dynamic characteristics, or a protection of SCR, or the specifically they ask design of SCR, or maybe series and parallel operation of SCRs, like that. Yeah, whatever title I'm shown, maybe in this unit maximum 7 questions. So each maybe sub questions means some portion of question they ask. Otherwise, that is one title is related to one complete topic, related to one complete essay question. If in exam they want to ask something small questions or sub questions, we will split it into some other points. That is only the difference, but each title consisting of one essay question. So now we'll go to series and parallel operation of a SCR. So what is the, or why we go for series and parallel operations? Anybody? All these things I covered in introduction. That's the huge introduction I given. 3 hours of introduction I given throughout the subject. For each and every point we covered there. That's why. When you required series operation, when we required parallel operation. Anybody recall? The thing is, you know, one SCR rating. Maybe different ratings are available, a maximum up to 3 kiloamperes rating also there in each SCR. But in industry, you may be required more than that available rating of a SCR. It may be voltage rating or maybe current rating. If that is the case, what you have to do? Suppose in our lab, machine lab, we are doing as a parallel operation of generators or parallel operation of transformers. I think in machine 2 lab, one of the experiment, parallel operation of a transformer. So 2 transformer connected in parallel, or 2 alternators in machine 3. 2 alternators are connected in parallel. So like that, why we are doing that parallel operation? To meet as a current demand. Remember, parallel operation is to meet as a load demand. Load is nothing but a current, nothing else. And why we required a series operation? Here as a device, let's consider as a SCR itself. Why required series operation? Each SCR connected in series. Each SCR may have some voltage level. But one SCR voltage level is not sufficient to operate your application. Then you have to connect many number of SCRs are connected in series, so that your voltage level is going to be increases. Like in a solar power generation, you can recall there, if you see any plant, what will happen? Number of plates are nothing but panels connected in series as well as the parallel. Means one set of 10 or 20 based on your rating of load or whatever your design of your plant, you can connect 10 SCRs are in, solar panels are in series. That set we connected as a parallel. So like that, suppose 10 SCRs are connected in series, then each 10 SCR is a one array. That array is connected to the next array in parallel, so that what will happen? You are creating as a one voltage level to connect as a all panels are in series. That voltage level is fixed now. Suppose I want to connect some 1000 volts of DC. So each panel rating is something, some voltage level. Let it be maybe 230 volts or whatever, 40 volts or 24 volts based on your panel. That panels are connected in series to get it as your required voltage level. Once you are getting as required voltage level, that we call it as a string. So 10 SCRs or 20 SCRs are based on your level of power installation capacity, and you connected as a one string. that string, like that many number of strings are connected in parallel. So what will happen? One string is voltage level fixed. All the strings are same voltage levels. Now all the voltage levels of strings are connected in parallel. So therefore you can able to get it as high current rating. You can able to get high current rating. That means to meet your voltage current demand, you are connecting as many number of strings are in parallel. So therefore depends on your application, you may require series operation as well as the parallel operation. So both is required some cases. Now we'll see one by one series as well as the parallel operation. So now first the instant, presently we can see that each SCR up to 10 kV as well as 3 kiloamperes are available, means up to 10 kilovolts of voltage rating and 3 kiloamperes of current rating. Maybe different latest devices may have different ratings also. Now what you have to do in industry, I told no, this voltage rating, suppose industry is want 10 kiloamperes of load, we have to withstand that controller. Then what? You cannot connect one SCR in a circuit. So what will happen? You have to connect many number of SCRs are in parallel, so that current rating will increases. Similarly, here in the same some other application, you may be required some 100 kilovolts of application. Then one SCR is not sufficient. You have to connect many SCRs are in series. So that's what I mentioned here. For industrial application, demand, whether it is a voltage demand or a current demand, is more than the one SCR rating, then we have to go for series and parallel operation of that. In such case, we have to connect it in series in order to meet voltage demand. You remember, series is for voltage demand, parallel is for current demand. So in that you can connect as a parallel to meet as a current demand. So now what is the string efficiency in terms of measuring degree of utilization of the SCR? So how far you are utilizing as a SCRs, that we call it as utilization factor also, that we'll see after this. So string efficiency, how can you find whether you connected 10 SCRs are in series or 10 SCRs are in parallel? How the string, means you are connecting as a parallel or a series, that we call it as a string. What is the efficiency of a string? For that string efficiency, the same formula we can write it in the two fashion, for series case as well as the parallel case. Now we can observe the formula here. String efficiency is equal to actual voltage or a current rating of the whole string. What is the meaning of here? If I want to find string efficiency when SCRs are connected in series, then formula will be becomes like this: actual voltage rating of the whole string. If you want to find string efficiency when you connected SCRs are in series, the formula will be actual voltage rating of the whole string divided by individual voltage rating of one SCR into number of SCRs connected in a string. That is for string efficiency formula for SCRs are connected in series. Same formula, if SCRs are connected in parallel, then what will happen? You can observe that actual current rating of the whole string divided by individual current rating of the one SCR into number of SCRs connected in a string. So only thing is, if we want to find string efficiency when SCRs are connected in series, use voltage rating, or SCRs are connected in parallel, use the current rating. That's all. The formula is same. That's the reason I mentioned here slash means voltage or current rating. So you cannot use current rating when SCRs are used in a series. You have to use the current rating only when SCRs are used in a parallel, in that string efficiency. So that's why I use the same formula by using slash. If you want, you can write different version. String efficiency at SCRs are connected in series. So you can say that actual voltage rating of the whole string by individual voltage rating of one SCR and into number of SCRs are connected in series. Otherwise, parallel, you make use of current. That's all the string efficiency formula. Now it is the string efficiency is always less than 1. What is the reason? Because when even though if our SCRs are in the same rating, same specification, voltage shared by each SCRs may not be the same due to in sharing, means the unequal voltage sharing will be takes place, that leads the string efficiency of the device will be that structure will be less than the 1. So higher possible string efficiency, SCRs connected in series or in parallel must have identical SCR characteristics. If SCRs, because 3 SCRs are there in the same rating also, some cases may not get identical VI characteristics. So due to that problem, the string efficiency will get it always less than S. So anyhow, in detail we are going to see the series operation and what are the problem will arise, why unequal voltage sharing will be takes place. In case of parallel operation also, if 2 SCRs or 3 SCRs connected in parallel, there is a problem will get unequal current sharing also. So why that problem will arise and how to overcome that problem, all these things we can observe in detail. So this is just introduction of series and parallel operation. So why we have to go for series, why we have to go for parallel, what is the string efficiency formula, all these things. Then we'll consider series operation and we'll move on to that. So now we can observe that same rating and same specification, so do not have identical characteristics. So that what characteristics? VI characteristics. So therefore, so unequal voltage sharing or a current sharing is bound to occur in a SCRs. So therefore, string efficiency will never go to 1. When it will get 1, whether all SCRs are sharing equal voltages or equal currents in terms of parallel. Very simple. If I use voltage, you assume that it is a series. If I use current, you assume it is a parallel connection. That's all. Every time I don't want to repeat that sentence. So then we can see that when if it share equal voltages, you will get string efficiency is 1. But it never get equal voltage sharing. But how to make it? That is another question. Initially it won't get it. Later you have to make it. So otherwise there is a problem. That problems also will see. If it is unequal voltage sharing, what will happen, all these things. So unequal voltage or current sharing of SCR in a string can minimize greater extent by using as external equalizing circuit. So in general won't get equal voltage sharing or won't get equal current sharing, but you have to make it equal voltage sharing as well as equal current sharing in the greater extent by using external equalizing circuit. Something you have to use in addition to that series operation of SCR or parallel operation of SCR. In addition to that, some additional component or additional equipment, you have to use it to make it as a equal voltage sharing or equal current sharing. So now we can see that even in a string provided with external equalizing circuit, its efficiency is less than the unity. Again, there is a problem under static condition. So static condition, it may be getting some efficiency is high, but under dynamic, what is the meaning of dynamic? Under operating condition. So means operating means transient condition. Transient means again on position to off position or off state to on state. So device is initially off state, while it is converting to on, there is a dynamic. So there also some unequal voltage sharing will take place or unequal current sharing will take place, vice versa, when it is going to be on to the off or off to the on. So for that we use additional components. Again, one circuit is for static equalizing circuit under normal operating condition. Once it is transient condition also, there is a problem. To overcome that problem, you have to use as a static as well as dynamic equalizing circuit. By make use of these two things, use this extra unit will certainly, because when the connected in series and parallel, the number is not fixed. Anybody, why the number is not fixed? Suppose you are operating alternators are in parallel. Where some cases you may increase one more alternator connected in existing set. Initially, two alternators are connected in parallel. to meet your demand. And suddenly demand rises, demand increase. Then what? Existing unit is not sufficient to meet the demand. No, you have to connect one more alternator connected in parallel to meet additional demand. But after some time, again the demand may reduces. Then what will happen? Again you have to disconnect one of the generator, like that. Addition and adding or deleting the generator in the bus bar, it is continuous process based on your requirement of the demand. So therefore what you have to do? So in case of SCRs also, sometimes you have to increase the one more SCR in series, or you can decrease that, or maybe adding the parallel, or you can decrease. So during that process, there is a chance of getting unequal sharing. So to overcome that, you can use dynamic equalizing circuit. So you can get it as a equalizing that current and voltage sharing. And one more parameter, new term here, measuring of the reliability. What is term of reliability? It is very simple sense. Suppose I want to increase the reliability. What I have to do? Let consider 100 amperes of load demand. I want to meet it. To meet 100 ampere of load demand, each SCR may be, let assume that 10 ampere. Just for understanding, 10 amperes of SCRs are connected in parallel to meet 100 ampere demand. How many? Let preferably equal sharing, let assume that 10. 10 into 10, you will get it as 100. Is it clear? But if I use 20 SCRs are in parallel to meet 100 ampere demand only. One case is 10 SCRs connected in parallel. Each SCR rating is a 10 amperes to meet 100 ampere demand. And other case, same 100 ampere of demand, I use 20 SCRs are in parallel. Which case will give more reliable? Which case will give more reliability? Second case. Reason is you are not operating the device under full load condition. First case, to meet 100 ampere, you connected only 100 SCRs. So each SCR must and should carry the full load. Then what is meaning? It is operating under full load condition. But another case, you are operating under half load condition. So reliable failure of the device is minimum when you are increasing the number of SCRs with the same demand. So therefore, instead of carrying, your capacity of load is 10 kg, you can able to carry very reliably. So if you are same person, if you carry 100 kgs, it is complicated. You cannot carry the long distances, maybe some 5 meters, something like. So that is what same thing. They are using as a more devices, costly manner, but reliability aspect is a high. So in turn, you have to measure by make use of the derating factor. So that will measure reliability of a string using as a derating factor. Derating factor is nothing but 1 minus string efficiency. If derating factor is more, automatically more devices need to use with the same string efficiency, but you must use as a more devices. If more devices, cost wise is more, but automatically you are expecting more, automatically you have to spend more. But still cost is more, but reliable operation is takes place. If I don't want to expend more, use high number of devices, so automatically reliability will less, because there is a chance of device failure. If SCRs are connected in parallel, one of the device fail, that leads major problem. Very simple. Now total load is shared by these 10 SCRs, but one of the SCR is failed, automatically load may not be decreases, load remains constant, but one of the SCR is failed, rest of the SCR has to carry more load than their capacity. Automatically other device also will fail, like that. Consequently, all the string is going to be failure, like that. Many problems will be there anyhow. That we'll see later. At moment, we can observe that there is a string efficiency formula. There is a derating factor. Derating factor is equal to 1 minus string efficiency. Based on this, it is also very important question. They ask theory question, explanation of series operation or a parallel operation. They may protection for equal sharing, static equalizing circuit and dynamic equalizing circuit, everything will come again for series operation case. And parallel operation, what are the problems will arise, how to overcome that parallel, everything. So we'll see that in the next class. This is a recommended derating factor is more, automatically number of devices will be series or in parallel will be more. If number of devices more only, we'll get it as a more reliable. So now we'll see in the next class series, same series, and this whatever I explained so far, it is only the introduction of series and parallel operation. Later we'll see that next class in detail of series and parallel operation, designing all this. If you have any doubt, you ask me. Otherwise, post your attendance and you can leave. I am uploading all the things in that, whether it is also there, you can show that, team also available all the things. Otherwise, you can go to LMS server